that is the Commission Selection Board, and they got commissioned, notwithstanding. There were also instances of commander taking soldiers to his own farm to work, and libertarian philosophy would call this slavery in that sense, where somebody is forced to work without pay. That would be slavery, and that's exactly what happened in the 1990s, 80s and the 90s, when the commander's farm was open to soldiers to go there. Once I refused to go. In fact, I never went. I refused to go, and I nearly got dismissed. Soldiers complained a lot. They had no choice but to take turns going to the commander's farm. The engineering corps of the army, who were responsible for building houses and other things, were also taken to the commander's house to build houses for the commander. So these were very demoralizing. We're not supposed to work for individuals. We're supposed to work for the government.
How about the conditions in the barracks? Were there any problems with that?
Yes, housing wasn't good. Food wasn't good. We described the food as wata chew.
As what?
Wata chew. Water chew. Chew in our language means chew, sauce. So water chew is how we used to describe it. And even the cook, chief cook, would call it wata chew. Kubuganga leka kubuganga bai. So this was the food that we were forced to force down our throats, and the tea wasn't good either. So food wasn't good, housing wasn't good, incentives were not. Soldiers were standing along roadsides, waving to get to work, waving, begging for leave to go to work. That wasn't good. That was very demoralizing.
You told us that there was nepotism and cronyism. Did the local politics have anything to do with that?
Yes, I think what happened in the outer world always reflects on the inner world. What happened in the government was what was reflected in the army. There was corruption in government. There was nepotism in government during President Jawara's reign for 30 years. We've seen it all over. We're old enough now, we know these things. We read stories of corruption and journalists being charged and dragged to court for making allegations against ministers who were found wanting one way or the other, like the Trrc case, Salamane, who accused Sabali, Saho, and Landing Jallo Sonko, for example. Nothing came out of it. I think what happened was, if anything, Sabali was promoted from, was it finance minister to what? No, not finance. He became vice president anyway, from a ministry to vice president, notwithstanding the corruption allegations. And we also.
Are you suggesting that this was also one of the problems that lead to dissatisfaction within the army?
No, you asked me if there was any other thing. We are citizens also. Soldiers are citizens. Not only do they live in barracks, they also live within the country, and they see what is happening within the country. So what is happening there is what is tolerated within the military as well. So a commander says, "Get up, go to my farm." Soldiers get up and go and walk without pay.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. My question was, you had earlier explained that there was corruption, and then you cited this example where there were allegations of corruption against Mr. Sehu Sabali, and he was thereafter promoted to become Vice President and Minister of Defense. My question to you is whether this event had an impact on the soldiers in the army.
Yeah, it had an effect on soldiers who were politically alive. You know, you don't expect junior soldiers to catch these things, but some of them would. But the officer corps was really alive to what was happening in the country. Remember, an army is an extension of politics.
Your word or the word you used was the alive, that the army was alive, the officer corps was alive to that particular fact. How did they receive that information?
We read, we listen to news just like everybody else. We read papers like Foria, for example, which at the time was very instrumental in shaping our understanding and raising our horizon to what was happening in the country. So we pretty well understood what was happening in the country, and it wasn't good.
Let me rephrase the question. Were you happy about that information that Sehu Sabali, who's been alleged as being corrupt at that time that you mentioned, was promoted to become Vice President and Minister of Defense? Were you happy about that?
I thought you would ask the question in the other way around, because we couldn't be happy. How could we be happy when things are not in order in the country?
And many others, how about the other junior officers, apart from yourself? How do you read their mood at the time when Sehu Sabali was appointed to these two important positions?
I don't want to emphasize this as the single most important case that affects soldiers or so. Perhaps it's not the most important. We had other issues, bread and butter issues at the time.
I agree, Mr. Witness. I just want to hammer home what all these factors were and take them one by one. Let's now focus on this particular issue. You said you were not happy as an officer. How about the other junior officers? Were they happy about the situation?
I don't want to speak for anybody, but I guess they were not also happy.
So you did say that there were other more important factors. Could you tell us about those factors?
The army went to the point where it looked like it belonged to an individual family or an individual clan or an individual entity or a business entity. And there was no avenue whatsoever to do anything. You could complain, you couldn't even complain out loud. You couldn't do that. It's a disciplined organization. So we saw these things happen. People passing through the back way, getting what they want, lobbying and so on. And an army is supposed to be a disciplined entity.
You used the word, it's not, the phrase rather, it's not supposed to be clan. Why clan? Was there a problem with regards to clans?
Yeah, we saw at the very top of the army friends and family, and in some cases also. We were not fools. We saw all these things happen there. We took note of them.
Now, Mr. Witness, what I'm trying to get out of you is those things you saw happening. Tell us about them.
I'm not going to mention those names, but I know that Ndaunjai was there. I would mention his name because he was the commander, and you could look at the ranks. You look at the officer corps. The first 10, 15 officers had some connection with him, directly or indirectly.
How was that received in the army?
Not favorably.
Could you tell us more about that? How people felt?
Now, like I said, I can't tell you how everybody felt. I can only tell you how I felt. I was not prepared to go forward. I was not prepared to continue with the army. At some point, I was ready to leave. Until law came our way, the British said no, you wouldn't leave because you can be a good officer and we believe you can do it. So that's how things shaped up for me. But I guess there were people who also left the army because they were dissatisfied after 5-6 years.
You talked about the presence of the Nigerian officers in the army. You said you went for training and when you returned, you found the Nigerians in charge. Do you recall that?
Yes, I found the Nigerians on the ground. The commander was Dada. He brought a team of trainers, so-called. So that's why it's called Nigerian Army Training Team in the first place. So he was commander of the army. In the first place, we thought that it is unconstitutional for a foreigner to command a sovereign army if it is not a war situation. We went through this before in the gendarmerie. Perhaps I won't say much about that. I know very little about gendarmerie. But in the army, it's not supposed to be that way. A foreigner shouldn't command. How does it feel when a foreigner becomes president of the Gambia or becomes a minister or a cabinet minister? So we felt that something was wrong here. We couldn't have the Nigerians command our army. As a training team, they could come up with a small team of trainers, establish the offices, and technically advise us on the way forward. But they came here and took over our army, and so that was not right.
Up to what level did they take over in terms of the command structure?
Well, they were the commanders, they were the staff officers. A Gambian is a commander only if he is second to a Nigerian. I was second to a Nigerian as public relations officer, staff officer. So that was it. And we had to contend with that for all along.
How did the men feel about that? I would ask you how the junior officers felt and also the senior officers. For now, how did the men feel about the fact that their commanders were Nigerians?
Yeah, the men might not have been much into politics of the army at the time. They only knew that periodically the army would be stripped of its sovereignty from time to time, but what that meant to them might not matter. But for the officer class, that was very, very funny. And even the men, some were not up to, they didn't agree with that. How could we undergo this periodic change of guard and all the time they are foreigners? What is wrong with our commanders? Are they not educated enough? Are they not trained enough to train us? So these were the questions that they were asking, and we felt ashamed of ourselves. I trained in Sandhurst, and I trained with British officers. I trained with officers all over the world, and we did very, very well. Came back here, 5 Nigerians here, who I am so did not attend those institutions. And I watched them. I watched them and I saw them in action, and I knew they didn't get it right.
You have talked about yourself. You have talked about the men. How about the other junior officers, those who were at your level? How did they feel about the presence of the Nigerians and the positions the Nigerians held at the time?
They were equally dissatisfied. To what extent, I don't know, but almost all of them expressed similar dissatisfaction that Nigerians were in our army, telling us what to do, sometimes condescendingly. We had to put up with all this hardship and humiliation at that point. I don't know how the other officers felt, but for us, the junior officers, I mean the lieutenants and the second lieutenants, it was too hard.
Were there any problems regarding the allocation of resources, facilities, and privileges?
I'm not okay with the budget then and as of now, but I know that the army had very little allocation, and that's why we had problems with food, we have problems with accommodation, transportation, and logistics, because the army is as efficient as its logistics, transportation, and facilities. So you cannot have an efficient army without, all these requirements. That's why we ran into all these problems of lack of motivation and dissatisfaction.
How did the junior officers feel? Let me rephrase the question. Were the Gambian officers at par with the Nigerian officers in terms of facilities that were available to them?
Sorry, no, not at all. If you'll allow me to direct on that, I believe the Nigerians were much more provided for. They had many allowances, housing, even though they were a technical team. They had all the facilities. We saw them in the Nigerian army. A lieutenant salary in the Gambia army was equal to a lieutenant colonel salary in the Nigerian army. But when they came here, they received 2-3 times our salary, and they had comfortable housing, transportation, and so on. We had to share cars. The Nigerians, they were comfortable.
Did that disparity have any impact on the feelings of the junior officers, Gambian junior officers in the army?
To be precise, yes.
How did you, the junior officers at the time, feel about the situation?
Well, we felt we were being toyed around and we were being humiliated and insulted. And the Nigerians knew that we were not happy. I think at some point they realized that we were not happy. So they came up with what was called the terms and conditions of service, recommendations for the government, so they could also try to upgrade our conditions, see how best we could get more transport allowances and housing as officers and men. So I was part of the commission that set up the terms and conditions of service at the Army headquarters.
So in a sense, what you're saying is, okay, the presence of the Nigerians had a lot of negatives, but it also had some positives, including the reorganization of the army and the preparation of the TACOS, that is the terms and conditions of service. Is that what you say?
Yeah, it is an unintended consequence of that. They came and they gave us TACOS. To their credit, yes, they gave us TACOS. They came up, or okay, we have asked for it. They refused. But when the Nigerians recommended it, they accepted. So a commission was set up to look into living conditions of troops and their commanders, and they recommended, I think at that time, $700 for majors and above for housing, and captains and under $700. $1,000 for majors and above, captains and under, 700, the troops 300 or so for housing, and there were similar allowances for transport as well. So that was a bit of a breathing space for us, but of course it was still not enough for us. We continued with our humiliation. It was not, the material benefit wasn't all. It didn't solve the problem. We wanted our army. That was it.
When you once said we wanted our army, you are referring to junior officers at this stage?
I think even senior officers and the men, no doubt about it. The difference is how did we handle it at our different levels.
Now let's talk about the senior officers. How did they respond to the presence of the Nigerians occupy and having them occupy command positions within the army?
Theirs was different from us, the junior officers then. They were quite mute about it, I guess because they thought that at some point the Nigerian Army training team would leave and it would be their turn to step in. Who held what responsibility would depend on the Nigerian recommendations. So they were very mindful of that fact, I think. And that's why they were very mute, and I would describe it as I think they were puppets of the Nigerians.
What do you mean by that? Can you further explain what you mean by the statement that they were puppets of the Nigerians?
Yeah, while we fought tooth and nail, junior officers, to ensure that we get what we want, including the departure of Nigerians, for the government to allow us to exercise what we've learned in institutions that we went to. The senior officers were not having any of it. They were busy trying to satisfy the Nigerians.
Do you know why they were trying to satisfy the Nigerians?
I cited the fact that they were busy competing among themselves who would occupy what position when the Nigerians left. So the Nigerians were there, and there was no time limit. I think at some point there was no time limit, so it became a little bit frustrating. Then they were, I think it was like, hey, this guy would be commander when the Nigerians leave, or this guy would be SO2 DAS, would be deputy DAS. So it felt like that for them. For us, it wasn't funny. It was, they shouldn't be here in the first place.
You said the senior officers were puppets. What would you say to this question? Would they do anything the Nigerians asked them to do at the time?
Yes.
Now let's look at the junior officers. Second lieutenant, lieutenant. How did they respond to the Nigerians?
Yeah, they had it very tough with us because they saw us as defiant. Not only defiant, they saw us as people who did not accept their authority outright, people who challenged and their ability to deliver, because we saw that they were not delivering, they were not doing what we thought they were here for, and they knew it, so that became it.
Can you give us an example of an instance in which you thought the Nigerians did not do what they were supposed to do?
We once had an exercise in Kudam, for example, and the exercise was supposed to be a training exercise. The entire army was there, and the organization was half-baked. The execution was zero. We stood there, we watched them perform, we stood there, and we couldn't understand that these were the people who were sent to us to train us. We were going to do it better. So from that day on, we thought something serious had gone wrong.
When you said we, who are you referring to at this stage?
I am referring to the junior officers.
Did you have a discussion about this as junior officers?
Oh yes, we had. We sat under the tree at some point and left them do what they were doing. Their actions were characterized by laziness and indifference. We stood aside and said, this is the training team. So we just went aside and said, we needed to do something about these people because they are not here for us. They are here for their pockets. They're big cars, they've got houses, and they're supposed to deliver, and they are not. They were not.
What do you mean by the statement, we stood aside? Can you further explain that? In military terms, what does that entail? What does it mean?
Well, if I learned surgery, and I was supposed to operate on a patient, and I saw another doctor come with another instrument, an instrument that is not suitable for surgery, and wanted to operate on that particular patient, the best option would be for me as a qualified surgeon to step aside and look, because otherwise I would be guilty of murder, just like him.
Were you guys rebelling against the Nigerian command at that time?
Yes, somehow, yes. We made them know that they needed to put their acts together at some point, because this was not how to train an army. We were with the British, we knew how they operated. And they came, and this time they were telling us things that were not in any pamphlet, they were not in any training manual. I guess it is like you take a weapon and go stand there or something. I just couldn't understand. It didn't fall in place. The jigsaw didn't fall in place.
And could you recall which junior officers gathered under the tree to talk about this?
Some of us, yes. Those who went there. I was there. Singate, Edward was there.
What was his rank at the time?
Second lieutenant. Yankuba Ture was there.
What was his rank at the time?
He was second lieutenant as well. Sana Sabari was there.
What was his rank at the time?
All of us were second lieutenants. Yeah, I can name those names, yes.
During your discussion, did you reach an agreement as to what to do about that situation?
Yes, we thought we should raise awareness of the situation, that it was in the right way. We are not going in the right direction. The Nigerians were not good for us in this situation. If it had been only for justifying their pay, or maybe grab some money and go back to Nigeria and then leaving us alone at some point, but I think they were a bit condescending of us. They wanted to humiliate us at every point, and we knew they did not know. So that complicated the matter. So we said, look, we needed to show them that we won't take it.
How were you to do that?
At that point, we were not quite sure what to do, because we knew a mutiny was wrong. We won't do that. But we were prepared to inform the commanders, they themselves, or perhaps even march to the Ministry of Defense and put across our grievances and so on. But look, where would we go? The Ministry of Defense itself was not in order. There wasn't a single military background personnel apart from the staff officer, one staff officer. The rest of the Ministry of Defense had no idea what the military was like.
Was that also one of your problems?
Yes, that was also one of our problems, because I think I bumped into Dada one day, and then he warned me. He said, your pen would put you in trouble one day. That's what he told me. Why? Because I told him that at the Ministry of Defense, we needed more staff with military background than we presently have. And he didn't think that was a comment that I should have made. I also cited the fact that logistics was in short supply. I said the world is changing. We need to change it along. Why wouldn't we have computers by now? Why is everything manual? Why would we type and store our information manually? We needed computers, and that called for resources. That was a write-up I made. That they have asked all of us to write something. So I wrote that. He didn't like it, so he told me outright. He said, "But sorry, sir, but that was my opinion. You asked us to write." And that's what I wrote.
Still at Kudang, besides entertaining thoughts, excuse me, of a mutiny or going to your commanders and informing them about your grievances, did you entertain any other thoughts as to how you would deal with that situation?
Yeah, I guess a few weeks after we returned from Kudang, we decided to see again. We held a meeting, a clandestine meeting at Yundu, to talk more about this, to brainstorm. Then we decided that we couldn't get rid of the Nigerians without getting rid of the government itself. So then the idea of getting rid of the government started to float for the first time.
Can you kind of tell us who was at that meeting?
All the Can I proceed? Yeah, I was there. Edward was there. Yankuba was there.
Could you kindly tell us full names, please? Name and rank.
Oh, yes. Edward Singate, Second Lieutenant Edward Singate, Second Lieutenant Yankuba Ture. No, Yankuba wasn't, sorry. Haidara, Lieutenant Basiru Baro, Second Lieutenant Alpha Kinteh. I think we're around.
Can you give us Haidara's full name, please?
So I knew Haidara's full name because we didn't spend long together. He came from the Zandan, so I forgot the surname.
What was his rank at the time?
He was a second lieutenant. Yes.
Back to the issue of the Kudang, just one question. Do you recall when that exercise in Kudang took place?
Yeah, this must be somewhere in, and I can't be sure. Huh? I don't know exactly, but I assume it was around April, May or so.
Of which year?
Of 1994.
You said few weeks later, after you returned to barracks, you held a meeting. Which barracks are you referring to?
I am referring to Yundum Barracks, the home of the infantry of Gambia National Army.
You mentioned those who were involved in that meeting, and you mentioned a Yankuba Ture, lieutenant. Was he present or was he not present?
He was not present.
Was he present at the discussion you had under the tree in Kudang?
Yes, I think he was there.
In your discussion at Yundum Barracks, you mentioned Lieutenant Sanasabali, Lieutenant Singate, Lieutenant Barrow, Lieutenant Kinteh, and Lieutenant Sadibu Haidara. Was Yaya Jammeh present, Lieutenant Yaya Jammeh?
No, he wasn't present.
Kindly tell us what happened in that so-called first clandestine meeting.
Yes, after, yeah, we opened the meeting with our usual idea of what can we do, what could we do about this situation, and the fact that now we are clandestine means that we've got to be we had some ideas, we've got to be very careful because we had Nigerians there who were not only very good at making coups, but also how to foil coups. So we were very careful of that, mindful. And we agreed that this government needed to go, rightly or wrongly. And that is what, honestly, we started working on.
Let's call a spade a spade. At this stage, you are planning a coup d'etat against the government. Is that right?
Yes, we were planning a coup d'etat against the government.
At this stage, did you have a leader?
No, we didn't have a leader.
Can you tell us how your discussion progressed and the conclusions you arrived at that meeting?
Yeah, we concluded that yes, we will work on the coup d'etat plans for a coup, and but divisions, clear divisions surfaced there and then that we had factions there and then, because there was a faction that said that we needed a Ghana-style coup where all the cabinet ministers of the government be executed by firing squad, plus all the senior officers in the military who we consider to be puppets to be executed as well.
You said there were divisions. Who supported this Ghana-style coup in which ministers and senior officials would be executed by firing squad?
This was Edward Singate.
Do you mean Lieutenant Edward Singate?
I mean then Second Lieutenant Edward Singate.
Was he the only person who supported this position?
Well, he was the protagonist. So I can't remember who else supported the idea, but I know he was the protagonist of this idea.
What were the other ideas that were proposed at the time?
The other camp was where I belong. I thought it wasn't necessary to execute anybody. We needed a coup, and when the coup succeeds, that's all we needed. If anybody was wanting for doing anything, the law should take its course, and that was what made sense to some of us. And this is how we disagreed with each other then.
You said there were two camps. What divided these two camps that you mentioned?
Like I said, this was the sticking point, the main bone of contention between the camps. The coup, the idea of staging a coup wasn't the problem. We were unanimous on that. But how we went about with the coup was the question. How do we go brutal? Was it going to be a bloodless coup? Was the question. So the division started there. Some of us said no. We won't execute a single officer. We won't execute a single minister. We will say a coup and take over government, institute a government, make a transition, and hand over power to the civilians.
We now know that Edward Singate was the protagonist, according to you, for a Ghana-style coup in which ministers and senior officials would be executed. You belongs to the other camp which wanted a bloodless coup. Tell us which camp Lieutenant Sabali, Sana Sabali belongs to.
I'm not too sure which camp he belonged to, but I guess he had a leaning on Edward Singate's side.
Do you know who else supported your position?
Lieutenant Barrow supported my position and Kanteh supported my position. Lieutenant Kanteh, Alpha, and Lieutenant Basir Barrow supported me.
Do you recall which side Lieutenant Sabali, Lieutenant Haidara supported?
No, I forgot which side he was on, really.
At that meeting, there was no unanimity, there was no agreement, on which way you would go, correct?
Correct.
What happened after that?
Yeah, there was a period of silence and introspection and reflection, and we thought we had to cool things down a little bit and compromise. But time was so short, a lot of things were happening, at the time. Then allegiances started shifting, new members started coming in on both on the side of Edward Singate, and that's how I guess Yaya Jammeh got briefed by Singate.
At what stage did you realize that Yaya Jammeh was in the picture?
It was very, very late in the game when I realized that Jammeh was in the picture, because then he had meetings with Singate and perhaps Sabali too, somewhere around Fajara. They had their meetings there. We did not know about them, but we thought that we were waiting for a compromise on the issue of how to proceed. Our own position, my position, was clear and unshakable. I thought I made it very clear that I would not support a coup that would be bloody.
Do you know whether at any stage information about this particular coup plot or any other one got out in public?
Yes, there was a time, I guess the then NIA picked the signal somehow. They knew that something was going on, but for some reason they could not take action, and why, I don't know. Perhaps it's destiny. They would have discovered earlier that the coup was in the making. And that's why on the 21st, on the 22nd December 1994, before the coup, there was a guard of honor receiving President Jawara. Soldiers were disarmed. That was the tip they had. So some of the soldiers on guard with weapons were disarmed publicly at the airport.
Do you know how the soldiers felt about that particular event?
Humiliated, angry, and determined to ensure it doesn't happen again.
Were you at the airport on that day?
No, I was not.
Do you recall the date of this event?
Which event? The airport event?
Yes, Mr. Witness.
I know shortly before the coup, but I don't know exactly, a few days before.
Do you recall the date of the coup?
was on the 22nd July 1994.
Can you tell us where you were the day before the coup?
Yes, a week leading to the coup, I received information that my brother in Germany passed away, and the family was very busy trying to fly the body back to the Gambia. And the burial took place on the 21st of July 1994. So I had no reason not to be there. I had to participate in the funeral arrangements, and that's where I was on the 21st. And then I took a ferry on the 22nd and crossed back to Banjul the following day.
Where did the burial take place?
It took place in Jabakunda, my home village.
And when did you return to Banjul?
I came with, I think, the second or third ferry or something, and crossed into Banjul on the 22nd July.
While at the ferry, did you hear anything?
Yes, before we even boarded the ferry, there were rumors of troop movement, and that something was happening or about to happen also. Of course, there was supposed to be an exercise with the American visiting Marines with SS Lamont County or something. They came here to exercise with the troops, Gambian Army troops, and that was publicized. And on this day, there was a lot of movement. So who knows what it was, but there was rumors of activities that were uncommon.
Did you eventually find out what was going on?
Yes, as soon as I disembarked from the ferry, I saw Singate's car. I saw Singate in a car going towards the Marine unit.
Singate are you referring to?
I'm sorry, Edward Singate. When I say Singate up to this point, it's Edward, not Peter. Edward Singate.
And where did you see him go?
I saw him heading to the Marine headquarters, just very close to the ferry terminal.
What did you do after that?
Well, naturally, I wanted to know what was going on, so I followed him to the Marine unit, and I met him in the Marine Commander's office, that is Major Antuman Saho.
What happened there?
Well, he briefed me. Immediately I arrived, he told me, well, it's a coup, and it has succeeded. It is a bloodless coup. I said, thank God, it's a bloodless coup, because that's what I wanted. But I met him at the office of, in the office of Major Antuman Saho. He was trying to coax him to join, because the Marine unit had very heavy weapons that they could have used to create chaos or perhaps put the success of the coup in jeopardy. So he was pleading with the Marine commander to support the coup at that point in time. So at the time I spent there, we were the three sitting down in that office.
As far as you recall, how did Major Saho react? How did he respond to the request made by Lieutenant Edward Singate?
He was unsure what to say, what to do, because nobody at this point, nobody knew if it was a success or not. He was not. He was quite economical with words, a bit confused, I think. But Singate kept pushing. He promised him he would be a minister, cabinet minister, if he bulked.
Did, as far as you recall, did Mr. Saho give his support?
No, at that point, no, I didn't. He didn't say yes. Oh no, I then left them. I said I was going anyway, but Singate told me Yaya Jammeh was there at the State House, so I could go straight to the State House, and then I left him there.
At around what time did you arrive at the Marine unit?
I don't know. This must have been between 10 and 11 or something.
Do you recall what time you left the Marine unit?
It must have been after midday.
How did you go? By what means did you leave the Marine unit?
I took a car from the Marines and went to, I headed for State House, but before reaching State House, I passed through the police headquarters.
Were you alone in that vehicle?
No, I was with a driver.
Where did you get the driver?
The driver was a soldier, the Marine soldier.
So the Marine unit provided the driver and the vehicle for you to go to State House, correct?
Correct.
So you passed by police headquarters. What happened there?
Yeah, I found pandemonium at the police headquarters. There was a lot of noise and bangings and shouts from Sadibu Haidara and Sana Sabali and Sonko, Captain Sonko.
Do you recall his first name, Captain Sonko?
Captain Sonko we call Kanyala Manso. But I don't know, I forgot his Momodu Sonko. Yeah, Momodu Sonko.
You said there was a lot of noise, there was pandemonium, there was shouting. Can you provide more detail about what you saw happening there?
Well, yeah, they were trying to tell the police what to do. The police were perhaps not very interested, keen in that. They were afraid. I understand some of the commanders jumped over the fence to go home, and the rest who were there were confused. I know President was there, the then IGP. I didn't see him at that point, but the rest were really confused, and the soldiers were there, the officers were there, traumatizing them. You know, then I came and told them it could be easier done than shouting and hustling about things. This is not the way it was supposed to be.
Apart from PS Jain, Pasala Jain, did you see which other senior officers can you recall to have been present there at the time?
Well, I don't know if I saw one Bolisar or something, but I'm not too sure. I think there were a number of police officers there. I don't recall them anymore. It has faded. Sorry.
Can you further describe how those officers you saw there, how they were treated?
Well, they felt under siege. They felt like captives. They were confused because something must have happened very early in the morning to them, that they would needed to defend the bridge or something, and then all of a sudden soldiers bumped into their office telling them that the situation is over. They either do what they wanted them to do, they either did what they wanted them to do, or consequences or something. I guess the police were not used to gunmen around them and so on. So that was a very difficult moment for them too.
Did you see anybody beaten at the time?
No.
Any arrests?
There could have been arrests when I left, but at that point, no, there were no arrests.
Do you recall what time you left the police station?
I was not attentive. I was not attentive. Really, I won't be able to tell you exactly when. But then I left the police station. There also, so it was like I left one chaotic situation to another. Then I headed straight to the State House where Yaya Jammeh was.
This is a convenient time for me to stop and allow the commissioners to ask questions before we go to the first break. Mr. Chairman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lead Counsel. Thank you, witness. I now ask the commissioners if they have any questions. Not on this side. Not on this side. Thank you, Lead Counsel. No questions.
So,
take a half-an-hour break and come back at midday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. You may.
Mike. Mike. Yeah, Mike check. Mike check 1 2 1 2 Mike. Yeah, Mike. Mike check. Yeah, 1 2 Mike. Mike check 1 2 Mike. Mike, yeah. Mike, yeah. Mike, yeah. Mike check 1 2 Mike. 1 2 Mike, yeah. Assalamu alaikum. La, oh, aja. Mamati, mathematics. Mathematical. Assalamu alaikum, badi ngolumbal konton na Africa Television o nyintoyala. Mbal bismillah ila bi lungola menketa tenengoti. Na nyi January kalo tili tanin nano mbale dinkramento wole mu Dunes Hotel dami yalon ko wole mu kordati yemen kere pour nyi commission o member loren to nyala sain kandirola kol men yalon ko ketanu tajirinte yalo anin ku kotengolo men yalko kabo 1994 July karo tili mwanni fulo kata fo January 2017 sankono nyin TRRC comme ka fo angale kaunto nyamen amu commission nede me yalon ko bile mo atili lulu nyawti ka biring aku nyin commencé ta molu ba finti kan nanne pour kana ka to nyalu sain kam men keta ke barolti mennu ketanu wo July karo nyin kono 1994 sankono bilungo momi yalon ko wala na commission nyi nyati lingola wala mu Alage Kanteh anu atemu multi me yalon ko bota dinkramento ala wuludula wala mu bari bunjaba kundati Mr. Kanteh aytandi kode ate wuluta January karole kono 1964 sango anum fanan akaranta karambu mento ala karambu folo wala keta njaba kunda primary school ti kabira bota oto anata tenteng Hermitage High School tentenda ka ala sediar kuma kangol di me yalon ko abebe lare nin tonya la karola comme commission nyin lota men kamma Mr. Kanteh aya itande ko de atemu molti me yalon ko kabira jita nun karam moto abenun doku nyinolla an wo doku nyinol kono atamata nin fundan jamala pour ka je ko abe doku sifa men soto nola bara ayata mo men fon bala wala mo pour ka Gambia banko la fano nyinta me yalon ko wala tanko bundala donc amadu ñoñin dialaje ako anata wota ayo ko nyin landi wala amanna ke non zandamoti ako abije fanan anata tenten ko deke anata ta police la place o nyin safe me yalon ko wolem kedek place o nyinti ko kabiran ayo safero ke wala o PPP man sakunda kono inata itandala ko anyanda kala molti me yalon ko mole bate sanka yala momi yalon ko politiko la karola abe kala nu ministalti wo saytandi atela kolu mu fennete mi alon ko ani to la patiola buloñin be laare ñokanne ako kabiri yo kuma ko ñin faye atena ke modi mi alon ko docteur Lamin Nafa Sao wole munu itollaw ma fonla moti memunun dibitoti PPP man sakunda anu abe ministère place of makamo fanan tamandi kanu ako keta molti mi alon ko tamatale ako docteur Sao la tamo ñin enata fay ko prasita docteur manager bay wo bota joka du ma fongola ko kabira futata nun docteur manema wo nata meitandala wolem nyindi ko nyinin karoto fo ate a fama memo ala wululalti fo wo dung be PPP man sakunda be wole fasa kambang ako ate mentandala je wole nyindi ko ate man fenne long o dinkra nyinto pati ko la karola surtout ala alfa la karola ako o dalilo kamala wo docteur Mane ñing amanna signero ke atela kaytola pour ase silo sotono kakafu Gambia la police kunda nyimma ako kabiri woketa wo jakalol ñing kono wotumalem anatata ministre bunda mem marta senola memo agriculture ti ako kabira tata o agriculture ministre bunda ñinto wolna tata do kola pour molmen yalon ko wollel ning sama laluka do kol ke ela sama do dinkiral to imma kunkol to bang waram faroto ako bari narata samba damento wole keta sapoti pour kakeje extension wakati ako anata tara wodoku dinkira nyinto agriculture la ministre bunda saponyin ay doko nyinta ka kuma seje ako kabrang ay doko ke dinkira nyinto atarta nunje ako fo sanji fula wuto ko wo ko lalem anata ta dinkirato dami yalon ko wolem komboti ako kabra murta kombo han sain abe dulal jube kan pour foddo ko dinkira sotonoje ako konolem anata ta Crab Island secondary school kabira futata oto wolnata ta karandiro makamola me yalon ko wolem seno bunda la karoti memo agriculture teacher ako anata o karandiro kele fo karisai wo karisa yo nyin kabiri wo botala drong wotuma anata moy ko sojarol be taro kela wole mu tari tari nani jamoti Gambia la sojar kunda nyinna taro ka fonningel ta ke karandi sojar ya makamo nyin kono ako anata ta akafuta sojarol law tari nani jamu nyimma anata ke modi me alon ko anata silo soto pour ka bula mol kono me yalon ko wolle nata ke wo tari nani jaw nyim moluti ako kabirin woketa tumala menna anata karango ke komen ko sojaria ka landi nyamen wo recruit ya talbendi ya nyin kono ako kabira yo bandrong enata lance corporal ta kawo diala wala kata makamo folota e memara ako bare hani bide komen nunto ayo kole menu taki wo tamal o manna bang anata ke fendiment tentenda bare makamol men yalon ko wollelu be sojar kunda nyinto modol be je nim badi masutun tela lola tela drong e mare katra potolo kono hani sande ela kuwol buka lor tinte kulon kan akode onada ke fente mi alon ko atarta o kono akwa abe wala kono fo 1990 sangonyen sita o 1990 sangonyen ako wato lemu British ol nata molkinan ela sojarol pour kana Gambia banko ka sojaria nyinta ka kurukuru anen fanan kanikin droke nin sojarol la pour be wana ya no la nyaadile ela do ko nyin kono ako 1990 wotuma lemu wonikin dro kono o British sojarol menu yalo ko be karandro ke kan e nata la kata ko suute yaaje ko amumolti mi anka jartale anum fanan kamma kamol tilingala pour sinin sama ke Gambia la sojar kunton kolti nyaton kayala karol ako anata tendem fanan ye siloni yelaye ka kedekti kari dantan drong kabira o training nyim bandrong en ata silo yele ata Angleterre banko kan kada karon ke dinkrato dame aloko wolen sanghos military academy ako atata ay karon ke nyindinkra nyinto ako 1992 sango kono kabiring ayala karon nyim bandrong anara murnan Gambia banko kanjang Mr. Kanteh atendenda fana kayitandi ko ñinin karol ketala fo anene maralo ke non place la wara makamo la bang kabire alaw karanko la ako ha akeda molti me alanko anene ketanu platoon commandatile yundum barracks wala musojaro la kurpo dolem afana yo nyaton kayale nu ko anata mur fana 1993 kata akaran la fala dinkrado dami alonko wala Fort Benning military school ti ako kabirin tata oto dulato fana akaranta biraya la karan nyin kumfa amurtanan enata je ko alamma kamo be beti ala damen wala sojaro la kunda bati membe banjul sato kono kafo army headquarters ako kabiri ya samba woto enata makamo di ala mi alonko wala be kibaro la janjando fanna nyinna anata ke modi mi alonko o dinkra nyin atele nata o nyaton kaya ako kabirin abe o dinkra nyin to anata taraje wato menna dinkra nyin to ate futata nanje abo makamo nyin tamande kan ako bare nyaton kol men yalonko wolbe Gambia man sakunda wato la ila sojar kunda nyaton ga kan ako mun Nigeria dingol leti fo fang ko let council e sambay fale ko birinna kam murnande Nigeria no mi yalonko wolbe sojar nyaton ka ala Gambia banko kanjang wala keta colonel Abubakar Dadati akay ko wala mu moti mi yalonko wolbe nyaton ka yala jang nyin Gambia banko kanjang anu Nigeria dingolam ñinen karol nata tambi kaytan dala ko ñin sojarol men yalon ko nata o sojarol men yalon ko ifotata Gambia banko kanjang wo soto nota nyaadile akode ñimu fede de yalon ko ñi Angleterre sojarolu e keta modi yalon Gambia man sakunda walla député bole silo yele kaje ko sinano nyamen na Angleterre kolu se karandiro ke Gambia sojarol la ni daji ko la anim fana londo la mensanna la sojaria makamol tamando si sone bulo ako dum biring o British wolbe nun jang ako e nata doku saharin ke doku kende ba bare molmen yalon ko ye karandi wolbe wana yata no sojaria kono le anim fana ye kol sutele ako kabri beje nyin Nigeria no la tara Gambia banko kanjang say nyin molnoro me yalon ko wollel keta nyin British wolti bare wolla wato nyin bantale ako Nigeria no la nade wonata ngunu jamasi sojar kundal to taring ñenen karo nara bo fanna la me alon ko wala late council la kalore ka ñenen ka ko mune mu ngunu nguno dolti me alon ko wala sotata sojar kundado akode ni aju e Nigerian sojarolu ye bunnim banta bele soto bari tol mo me alon ko la ladula la domoro ani la tarangolu me mu motolti wol bebe sahari anim fana la ala wasol men ka dila da kubiraw ni jibo kullindawol akol mu be mu fennete me alon ko wol be sembo warta bake anu ni ajube Nigeria banko kanje ni kejo fenna o sidula sabanyon e kaje ko wala kaddi tolla Gambia banko kanjam akodi tolle sojari nu men yalon ko lieutenant ni la second lieutenant e to liaje ko kuwol mu fende me alon ko al halo nyimman beta fereng ako bare tolo la dula wo mu fennete mi alon ko halo manyinya ila soto bulo fana na karola wo fana mu fendinnati anum fana tamaran wo buko soto e ka beke moto nyinolti memo lift danolti wo mu fendi mi alon ko tarta o batallel kono ako bare kumayandro manke Gambia sojarol la ni tata o fanna nyinna na nyinin karo fana nata tenteng kaytandi ko mune kulu fana soto da me yalon ko e fe wala keta sababodi kontano manke sojarol la nyim fannala ako ni ajube Ministry of Defense me yalon ko wala marta tanko bundala ako momen be nyaton kayala je me yalon ko anata ke Seku Saballeti ako Seku Sabalde wato ate o Ministry of Defense be karafare atele bulu alo minister bunda be mu me kono mo kilinda mal soto da me yalon ko wala wana yata ni londo la karola sojaria ko la la mankutolu anata mandini ako modol man fellon sojari ala karola e ma londi soto e ma tamandini nya fanam fahamu wona ra kole aku jama wulindi ako fang to bana ra wuli kabrentu mala menna safero na ke kabo mobul me alon ko wokeda kibar talalti anu ay mentandi je wala nyinte ko tiliwon me alon ko a nyanda soda banko kan on tra keringa ko jenko be kering o jenko dung asembo nyin nata wara seku sabali nata to safe ka lankene manin kaytol to ko amu molti me alon ko bulata jenke ku jamala kono me alon ko amanke banko la nafa nyinde ako kabri wokeda men nata jakal ko ke wala nyinte wato abe minister a place wolto ako bari kesemon nabo jabato fo nata seku sabal samba yake vice president wodun nata ni ko yani sunu baytandi aytandi fango journalist o mi alon ko wole o tumirol nyin landi nata samba ya bulandi kasola wo e mo jama jikilate ndi man sakunda nyin na karola atendenda 50 rola ko la men yalon ko wollel sotota nu Alage Kanteh a fo fanan ko de gambia muddin kralti dam yalon ko wato la sojar dindingolu e to le ku jamaaje mi yalon ko nyaafati je anata Trrc do fon 5 mi yalon ko aketa bala bo nyoto nikindiroti Nigeria la sojarolu tambita men nyato aketa kudan sata wala kono makati commandant tumdo yinkan ako kudan sata kono kabrin Nigeria nol nata yela manyaro ni la wana rol ke elo kuol men yalon ko mem wala ma kanolti e toli men yalon ko e faham rol ke bare karanta nun dunya la karambum bale to nyin sojar yala kuol to yaje ko nyunu buka kuol ke bu anu e toli nata je fana nyunu ko ke karandi menna o manke fendi me yalon ko e toli nene o je dinkra kilinto im nene ma je safe fem fanam bala membe sojarol la safe fellandirngol la karola ako wala tol jikla tendi e nata ko yara fam men ka dina jiranol la o fennede me yalon ko aman jare bari mantra do ko ke kan membe saharin anu amanke do ko fanandi men saytandi ko e tolu mum wollede men jarta pour ka gambia sojarol nyaton kayan kabira tentenda wo dinkira fananna anata tan droke fananko men nata ko nyim fanan wajabindi wala nyindi ko nyo falen me alon ko aka soto ni wucola karola o mu me wol nata lo say wo falen fon bukana soto no anu nyaton ka makam natara ko abe gambia la sojar bundato ako abe nyaton ko ke Nigeria nolti gambia no be kala no malan kolti waranto ya amare tara ay tara sojarol lañun kurbundi ngolo ay tara kile nyaton kaya kan ako bar maral bulo na kan be atata Nigerian sojarol lebul yanyin karo kala fanan late council esambay fall akay ko de Alage Kanteh fo watola sojar nyaton ka kebal dum wala ko be nu nyaadile fo fanan be nu jusi diminala kono bang anim fanan nyin kol men yalon ko wala mu nyafa baliate akay ko hani wol mu mole de men yalon ko be Nigerian no lebul tete kono e bambutu malendron na diata wole bulandi fen suma kono e simbi na diata sambatil wala yelung ako bare wol tata men kono wala nyinde ko ni ibe nyokele kan ni makamol lela pour ni jiranol boda gambia wati don e tolu be wo makamol mem marla wala mu tol la suuto tili bare mante tol sojar din wala ko wol jube kan ani mantra fem fanan tamandi kanje atendenda fanan kacanyin fo fannala me yalon ko wala be dendin ning ferola e tol nata men dada lokundan tan ko manto kabiri boda o kudang karaw nyinto ako bare mbiri be kudang e tol fongol nata e nyokafu nyoma e nyosindi yiro ko pour ka kacake kaytandi ko kol bukata kude anu nyinta ku bali abe wajabi kanne amanke fendi mi alon ka abe dankanne anata tenten ako lokundan tan nyato don biri murta yundum baraks inata meeting ba ko mandije o meeting nyin ye meitandi je wala nyinti ko sartolu men yalon ko e nyanta tala wala nyim pipibi man sakunda kaje ko ka bondi fo sone kono ba waran kole a wulan kono men boko dimba kenyambo anata tenden fanan kaytande ko kabri bo kul kaja kan nata mira fulallel soto mirol num keda fende mi alon ko ida malu manna kambenno wato la kamiro ta mi alon ko mira fulo kono ako mira do bota membulu o munu lieutenant o singadaldi second lieutenant e was singadate aytande ko de gana la kudeta C5 wala kurkurla wala nyinde ko nin kudeta keda fa banda fengo fenara kunu kumbalen don ka be topoci ka samba ka londi ka kido male kan komen tumburi ngol waranto purare ngol ka me firing squad akode yofo bari molmen fana alon ko top official wol lamu etella sojar kunda anu wol fana mu wol be mistal bulteta wala kono yeni be fura nyola akole mu fende man ko edbos ngata nyol ye wolfo ako atela karola miro men boda buru la indiko kudeta mi yalon ko avec la kudeta de yele bonna je anu fanan nim momorandi yalon ko loi nata sulela e jew mari nyinta ya samba wo loi nyi natilngola isina jube loi femfel landa ka wosta maka inara nyininka let council esa mbay fall akay ko sign mo jumale Edward law ko nyim fasa akay de wo ko nyim fasa la de sana sabal tarra mo la kono me alon ko fasa ro ke ko la nada nyinin ka ate dun kuma kan wa men fo mo jumale o fasa akode lieutenant Bashir Baro kudeta mi an ko yelte bonna wo kafuda ma kaytande ko afanan ayo ko nyinta ka fasa anim fan momi yalon ko wala fana muy doño so jaroti lieutenant Alpha Kinteh ako fanande wo fanan lata kan ako kabire nyimbe on ata bala ben jamal nata soto menu ka kurkur tareng surtout fajara la karola ako ya jamme fanan nata kafu Edward Singate la o groupe nyimma menu ka fu ko gana la o kudeta simpanya be woltala ako kabire woketa mitingol nata soto ako damal nata je ko wato bita kanne wata jarda le pour ya kafu nyoma e kol be bula mirankling ako bare mirol bita kanni nyamenna wala nyinte ko dinkiralo mulbe la fa kanne modol kana ka kafu Edward nyolma dol kana fana ka kafu etol fanana groupe o nyimma je anim Bashir Baro nyol tendenda wal nyama ka 50 roke inara nyininka kabiri wo lota santeng altola kamunda ko ale kudeta la kurukuru let council esambay falia nyininka wala alaj kande tendenda ka fa ha nga kudeta la kurukuru anu ngaita ndile ko kudeta nyanda kelale ako bare kule keta me alon ko fanan nata nyin kudeta ko tariande bage akay ko mune kumwote ako wala nyinti ko sojarol ye wollel muta airport oto kabiri president Jawara mina kan nyin July karo ala tilmuang anin kilingo president Jawara lawna ye sojarol muta ye la kidol bete bulu anin kesol men yalon ko wo kesolu se farol keno akodu wakata ka fo bete male an way malu ba si sojar kundaro anin jiklate ba bari yaje ko fenne me alon ko anene manke an wo ko nyanta dannale o man nyanna fulanjana ka biri wakata dinkira nyinto anata menjeje wala nyinti ko tente nata ke kola me yalon ko wala keta nyin karoti let council esambay fall anata aytandala ko ibenum min tole nyin July karo atili monin kilingo wo airport bendundir lungo president Jawara lana Alage Kanteh akay ko janni wobe sila na badi masurung me alon ko wala fata nun jamani banko kan wala fure nyanta kana wala bade kunyal tol tarra wala kuna anu wotili monni kilin wala keta wala bade oti badi bunjaba kunda akay ente tara mabe bade wala wolto akay ente mamma be airport oto ako bare kabrim bade botala July kro tili monni fulo wato le murtanan feri fulanjang waran sabanjango nkuntuta wala kata Banjul akay ko fo kabiri be o feriyo nyinto ete mune kumwa ko ha ay kibaro moyle ko so jarol sototale men yalon ko wollelu be takan enin kurpu jama ako bari wato la miro men diala wala nyinte ko kankularo kedal ko nikindiro nyanta sotla sojar kunda to men yalon ko wala mu America la sojar kunda wala Gambia sojarol nindila bala karwa ako de on fennede me yalon ko o America marinolu ila nikindro me nyanta kala Gambia sojarola ako kabra amoy ko sojarolu moliye je jama ba no sifa mandali jala ako wo mirol diala ako bari kabirin akuntu da feriyo nyinna kabirin afuda da Banjul anara motoje moto me yalon ko second lieutenant Edward Singate bakono aka anara bulaw moto nyin noma wobi moto nyin bita kan dinkrado daman ko bakono sojarolu ila dinkrado wolto memo marine headquarters ti Banjul ako kabira futata je atra Edward Singate anin momi yalon ko wolbe nyaton ka yala num bakono sojarol la Mejo Antuman Sao aka ayo mo fulol tara be kacha kan office oto ako Edward be Antuman aba akachandi kam pour assession no nyaadi bari sojarol la jorangol menu jawyata beti wobo bakono sojarol le bulu ako bari wato la ate men cda kabirin let council ya nyinin ka memu esambay faldi akay ko fo anata songo itandile ba memu Antuman Saudi ka dandi ko fanan d'accord en kudeta lale ako hani de wato men na tabi jede o ma fo ha o ma fo hani ako atena de bulaje anata bula moto la moto me yalon ko o ba kono sojarol la moto lemu anin driver tata police headquarters ya ñinin ka ko wo driver ñin dum fo ñunu le o diala ba ko ha sojar kunda ñin me yalon ko wolem ba kono sojarol ti la marin dulato wo driver ñin woni moto diala pour asita state house baring edward kayna ko ya jame be state house ako bara tata police headquarters le ay sana sabal traje sadu haydra wurol be kala dulal bebe ñafar kan ako kam fato kumol we sarla ako kabira futata tumala menna atara police ñaton ka jamal beje men yalon ko dolu be tembo men to be dewring barin sojarol ni la kido ni la kese jawolu wolu be o dinkra nyundo akate na fo sana sabale ko ate keno la force o kono ka tanyim be kala do mando mawti pour ño fahamos keno ana nada itan dala jele ko let cancel kay ko fo e mole arresti nyala ba wala mole mutaka balo kersi bamba ako hanide o fem ferendi manka ate nyala membo ko arresto waran kersi bandiro akate nada bo jele atara state house pour ka ya jamme ñol taraje ya nada ñini ka wati juma abota o dinkra ñinto akode tonya fenne mi alon ka metale anu anyinata wato ñinnale ako bare asi même fono dro wala ñinte ko kabira bota soja bako soja ro la dinkrado atata damento wala mu police headquarters ti bira bota o police headquarters dong ay moto tala tendenda ka kungolo state house to onata ke fente mi alon ko ay wole yitandi pour ala tala la ñañinda bara ko wato me yalon ko wala keda ala bo wato ñinti ka bo police headquarters ako mu fenne de me yalon ko hakilo mawmano wato lemu let cancel esa mbay fal anada kuma kaw ñinta ka murundi sirantiola normalon ko kan madame sose pour ka silo diko ni ñinen karo be commissional bulu e se ñinen karo ke janning fonyon nim folo men mu break foloti minute tan sabo ñin se soto ka bere to ala men na madame sose vice chair pasin anata itandi ko be tembo men to de ñin karo mambo fan ala me alon ko wala mu commissional la karolati wato lemu inata ka break di memo fonyon dewti minute tasaba badi ngolo comme nga fale nyamen ron Africa television o murtanane ning katenten ko kurundi membe laare nyin commission la kaytandi molla kanun tewol nin kanun bal membe dunia dulal to taring mbal tentu la mbal jayla sinatan na studio to welingara alsen sotonole social media website holdo alsen sotono Facebook momorandi lafta fanan esetanole na website o nyinto www.iafrica.tv mbal tentula mbal jayla lamin AFFS dabo bitala fonyondi wala dron ngamuru na studio to foni nada fonyondi kunya fulan wala memo second break ti sina 50 drol dialla ko kurunde me anko be landirin CDR la karola to nyala 50 me alon ko alaji kante comme biya telebe commission nyati wala pour ka ko 50 me alon ko lekata nyala aninga men kala muta 1994 la karola men keta kudeta nyindi bari ko danta dame wala mu abulata moto kono kata state house ka ya jamme taraje ala baraka bake ala man sola kairala fo nyato wassalam